Hey wonderful people, your girl Hilda Elias here, aka Brunhilde, aka Hilly, and you're welcome to another exciting edition of The Grill. On The Grill, we talk about everything hot, topical issues, entertainment, politics, lifestyle, trends, everything as long as it's hot and capable to go on the grill. Yes, we talk about it. Well, last week we talked about the serious issue of rape, and this time around we're still going to talk about another serious issue. But before we do that, let's take a look at some of the top news for today. News here says Davido allegedly becomes the father of four. Woo! Popular Nigerian singer Davido is said to have welcomed a fourth child with London-based makeup artist Larissa Lorenco, despite his envious relationship with fiancée and third baby mama Chioma. Many Nigerians are in shock and couldn't help but to react to this news. Some of them couldn't even wait to mock Chioma about this. Well, by the way, let's take a look at some of the way Nigerians reacted. Petty Beauty says, "There's no gist that will not be shocking. She has brought herself down so he can do anything and get away with it. She dropped out of uni, has no means of livelihood except from him. She will sit quietly and accept whatever humiliation comes her way. He's buying house for all his boys, but I haven't seen anything in her name, not even car." Suzy K704 says, "She stand what she stand. Her choice is her choice. We can't all be the same. Some of us will be polygamous, some endogamous. Let her be Biko." The Dr. Chef said, "Seriously, I hope Davido hasn't gotten another girl pregnant. I would be so sad. I thought she was the last and wifey." Toyosi says, "Just a reminder that if Davido leaves Chioma, water will carry him far away." And here Queen Osasere says, "Now that there's a rumor about Davido having a fourth baby mama, Obio and Chioma need to ask two Baba and Annie for their past questions, papers and answers." My God, Nigerians no go finish me. They just won't finish me at all. Now to BB Nigeria reunion. Ever since this reunion started, in my own opinion, it's been cool, just kind of cool. Even despite the altercation that happened between Kim Oprah and Thatcher last week, it's just been kind of normal. But last night, woo, I felt the heat. I'm not sure I felt it as much as Ella did, by the way, but because she was dragged. Someone said she was dragged like Tiger Generator. The genesis of this gbas was when the show's host Ebuka Obi Uchendu brought up the story of Ella asking for financial help from her fellow housemates regarding her mother's health. Well, as it is, I'm sure Ella regretted that Ebuka brought up that story at all because the housemates pounced on her with words. Many of them were upset because they felt Ella conned them with that. They claimed that Ella just ghosted after receiving the money, and apart from that, she also went behind their backs even after they had given her some money to still beg publicly for money from other people. So they felt she was being dishonest. Venita particularly felt she was dishonest about that. She called her bipolar and dubbed her deceitful. Mercy, on the other hand, questioned Ella on how she spends her resources, asking if she does drugs. Wow, I think she went too far on that. While other housemates just felt she was dishonest because, according to them, they tried to come visit her mom at the hospital, but she didn't give them the address. She just went off, ghosted off. Nobody heard anything from her again. To cut the long story short, Ella was tackled and tackled and tackled until she walked out of the room in tears. She came back, by the way, shortly after. But this didn't sit well with many Twitter users. They went on Twitter to vent out their anger on Venita and Mercy in particular. They were angry with the other housemates for dragging Ella on such a sensitive issue. They also felt Ebuka was unprofessional for bringing it up on national TV. But man, they really went for Venita and Mercy, calling them vile for doing such a thing to Ella. Well, enough of the news for now. Let's go straight to the story, or should I say to the main topic of today. Today, we have on the grill another serious issue that has caused social unrest all over the world: police brutality. This irresponsible act has occurred all across the world and is still a major concern amongst society and police organizations. Police brutality ranges from assault, death as a result of use of force, harassment, and so on. It takes two forms: physical brutality, which includes assaults, and non-physical brutality, which includes use of verbal language. Over the years, most civilians have fallen victims to such unjust brutality. Recently, 2 young lives were taken by these irresponsible acts. George Floyd, an African American, was murdered by a white police officer, Derek Chauvin, in Minneapolis on the 25th of May. Floyd gave up the ghost during his arrest after Chauvin pressed his knees onto his neck for almost 9 minutes. 16-year-old Tina Ezekwe was gunned down by trigger-happy police officers at the Yanoworo community. The murderers in both cases have been arrested, but that doesn't stop many from wondering why some police and other uniformed men use excessive force, mostly on unarmed civilians. Is it ever necessary for force to be used? Let's take a look at what some social media users are saying. Shubikes Edwards said, I just passed through such intimidation and high-handedness last night at Orca, but thank God I used my number 6 because he was just shouting, if you come close to me, I will fire you. Adeshola says, I think uniformed men use excessive force on civilians because they want to create fear and force respect out of them. Uniformed men adopt the use of force on civilians to cover up for their own inadequacies and incompetencies. Therefore, civilians will not be able to speak up or act against the policemen out of fear because they don't want police wahala. She goes on to say there are other means of getting them to confess rather than exerting excessive force on them, because in Nigeria, more often than not, innocent people are mistaken as criminals. Emeka says, I believe the uniformed men should not use force on people. When force must be used, then it must be on offenders who resist arrest. The laws of the land are also to blame. Law enforcement officers are hardly brought to book, hence giving others confidence to commit more heinous crimes. He further says force should be used on insurgents and not civilians. Civilians would lose trust in the law enforcement officers over time, and there would be deterioration on the amiable relationship that ought to exist among them. And lastly, Neka Jason Gia says poor training, that means poor training is responsible for this act, and they are hardly punished for abuse of human rights. So guys, that's enough for today. I really have to go now, even though I wish I could stay longer, but I have to. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I'll be looking forward to seeing you on the next episode of The Grow. I'm Hilda Elias. Do have a wonderful day.